polar idea of ultimate realities. And this is the God of love. This is this inherent sense that I have and that you have that seems to be internally present, inhered within us, that we must be good, that we must be loving. That, of course, I sin or I err or I do things that are selfish and lustful and greedy, but I know I am doing these things. And I know that it is a transgression, not against some social inculcation, although how would I ever delineate between that which I learned and that which I essentially understand? Other than the pang, other than poetry, other than Michelangelo, other than Mozart and Chaplin, other than our great cultures driven by love and by connection. And people that don't understand that, the psychopaths, the murderers, the maniacs, those people that transgress against that code, we all know that code is present. This is the God that I revere. And this God, for me, can never be used to inflict suffering or hierarchies. But for me, this is the God that we must make a connection with. The God that is defined only by hierarchies. But for me, this is the God that we must make a connection with. The God that is defined only by the self. The God that isn't prescribed or delineated by another, but is felt internally and is used as a monitor of your own conduct, not of the conduct of others.
Well, I have several different things.
No, you don't. I've just won the argument. Good night. No, go on. No, tell me. Go on.
I have several different things to say about it. I'm wondering what is the most important. I mean, one thing is that as a historian, as a person, I have a great empathy to this idea. As a historian, I'm very worried about it because I guess, you know, more people have been killed in the name of love than in the name of almost any other thing in the world. It starts with things like love of country, but even the pure love of God.
Do you think that's love, mate, or is that power? Because I mean, I think you're doing a magician's sleight of hand yourself there. I think I held up the card of mystery, and you held up the card of orthodoxy. You held up the Yuval the human, and then you held up Yuval the historian. But I see just one man before me.
Yeah, so but I'm just saying that again. I'm careful about words, and the word love. Just like the word God has been implicated over history. I mean, there is so much baggage being carried by this word that this is why I'm worried about it because of the historical tradition of piling lots of very problematic things on this love. I mean, again, if you think about Christianity, the religion of love, it's if you make a survey of history of all the different religions, then the religion of love has persecuted and killed more people than any other religion in the world.
Yeah, but I'm not the best back, you know, like, I mean, me and you can side by side bag that one up and say, pack that in, because that, you know, that's sort of about territory. This is not about beingness. This is not about what personal relationship do you have with your own consciousness when you're observing.
So let's go to the other thing I wanted to say, which is that the other big myth of our era, besides capitalism, is humanism. And humanism is the belief that the ultimate authority and meaning in the world comes from human feelings. This is why it's called humanism. It's the idea that any big questions we face as individuals or as answers come from human feelings. In politics, you want to know who should rule, you ask people, how do you feel? This is the basis of democratic elections. And in ethics, if it feels good, do it, and so forth. And
I don't think you're right there, mate. I think it comes from rationalism. I think that people sort of ask what you feel according to the data and information that we've given you. You know, like you know, like take sort of what's happened. Like, you know, of course, one could easily argue Donald Trump the result of anger, the human feeling of anger. Brexit, similarly, perhaps you could, and all conflict is a result of anger. But I think that anger has a relationship with rationalism, and indeed, you know, I'm getting this from your own bloody book. The stories people have been told in those situations, they've been narrativized into rage. And if we and don't we have and I mean, you know, me and you have a duty to narrativize them into love. I mean, because when you talk about this, like that you are a man that spends 2 hours, I'm always interested when I spend time with people that meditate a lot, because I think you are making an effort to have access with, you know, not what you feel, but who is observing what you feel, not what you think, but who is observing what you think. And for me, this is what I mean by, inverted commas, God. That there appears to be some kind of consciousness that is beyond anatomical me, that is beyond sensory me, sensual and sensual. And you know, of course, at some point stories have to be told, language has to be deployed, but it's only, I think, when you talk about the exertion of power and the prescription of orthodoxy that we have a problem around love. You know, like then it's not love anymore. Then, you know, to use your brilliant idiom, that's when the sleight of hand and the transition of card has occurred.
Yeah, but I think that part of the problem with relying on our feelings so much is that we don't understand our feelings as well as we think we do. It's very complicated, and therefore, again, I have an empathy towards the basic attitude, but I would be very cautious about trusting our feelings too much, because very often we don't really understand them, and we don't really understand where they are coming from. Very often our feelings are shaped, as you say, by these external stories, but by these external narratives. And therefore, just by observing myself and seeing, oh, I feel in a certain way, that doesn't mean it's the truth. It's true. That's the reality. I feel this way. But it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily mean I should act accordingly. It's very, what I try to do personally in meditation is observe your feelings. Don't act according to them. Don't play them. Just see, like whether it's anger or whether it's love. When was the last time you just spent time in the company of your anger or of your love, doing nothing, not trying to implement it, to act in the world according, just what is happening to me? How does it feel when I'm angry? How does it feel when I'm in love? And sometimes you find that the labels you give your feelings are not so accurate. Like you say to yourself, I love, but when you actually observe, you see this is not love. This is something else.
Yes, this is very good. I'm really fascinated to hear you talk about this, because I know that you're a great academic and a great writer, and for me to hear that there is such an intricate connection between this and your personal relationship with your own consciousness and meditation is quite fascinating. And I think people do misdiagnose their feelings. I think that quite often by love we mean desire, quite often by anger we mean discomfort. I'm fascinated by this.
And now for a short break. For so long, socks have been manufactured as an afterthought with little attention to detail. Yeah. Until 4 years ago, when two guys set out to rethink things.
What up, man?
Hey, what's the haps, man? What's the haps?
Not much.
Oh, I'm playing a game. Oh, by my lonesome.
Including a reinforced footbed, built for extreme comfort, and a wire-stitched heel that cups the back of
I'll hop on and play 1 or 2 with you before I pass out.
You're gonna pass out.
Bombas socks are such game changers that customers overwhelmingly
Daffy Jones.
that they're most
You're gonna take a job.
they've ever worn. That's what
I mean, it's like 3 in the morning.
Is there Friday there as well?
But best of all, for every pair of socks, Bombas
I guess technically it is.
Now it is. Alright, I'm gonna rush quickly. No 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 no. I'm fairly sure I clicked duos, but it didn't auto match me into anything. I hear gunfire at school, so I'm just gonna run over there.
There you go.
I have a SCAR and a SMG. UMP. So We'll see how we go. Hopefully I can take one down with me. Man, your housemate works late?
Oh yeah, dude. Welcome to that, closing shift fast food life.
Damn. Now, I suddenly realized I'm not entirely sure it was from school, but it could have been from apartments. Maybe I'll just try and get some attention. Come on, peeps, where you at? Found one. I haven't got a vest on, so I'm gonna go down real quick.
I was just watching and win the firefight.
Ah! Where's that coming from? Where'd that cheeky bugger go? Would it be in the room with the door shut? I don't know. Apparently not. Ooh, there goes one. Oh. Alright, mission accomplished. 1 kill.
There you go.
Alright, who's gonna come in me? Put me out of my misery. I'm sure there was another guy. Saw him run past. He had tan pants on. Ooh. Come on, guys. Come at me. Where are you? I want to fight.
Isn't that how it always goes, though? Whenever you're looking for a fight, there's no one to be found.
Oh, so frustrating. Someone's totally gonna snipe me though. Which will be so stupid because they could totally get a body shot and kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. There's no one here. Are you watching on YouTube or Twitch?
Oh shit, I should be watching. I forgot I could be.
Oh, I thought you said you were watching. I'm sorry. I assumed. Oh, poor Ash. She had a long day, apparently.
Mm.
Mailed her a webcam today, so she should have it next week. Oh, is that gonna fire? I don't know. Sounds like it's over here. Let me in. Let me in on the fight. I want in on the action. Ah. Where'd he go? It's right here. Oh, there he goes. What? The match is still progressing. Continue. What? Yeah, wrong match state. Yeah, exactly. That's wrong. Oh. This goes Matt. Key Chroma is having trouble with this, the green screen. The lighting is not correct. Alright, what are we gonna play? Looks good, looks good. Happy with that. Hey, it's not streaming anything, is it?
I don't know. I stopped watching because now I'm part of the action.
But was it working when you watched it?
For the most part, I mean, it was choppy.
Hmm. Odd. It's just coming through as black on my screen.